Welcome back. Joining me now is the MP for Bassett Law and the chair of the Red Wall Caucus, Jo White. Lovely to see you this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Let's get stuck into this immigration white paper and what we know of it, Jo. I mean, are you happy it goes far enough? I know particularly your constituents in Bassett Law are worried about high levels of legal and illegal immigration. We've got restrictions on student visas. We've got a demand for a higher standard of English to A-level standard for people coming in. Companies who fail to recruit enough English staff are going to lose some of their sponsor rights for foreign workers. Changes to Article 8 proposed, and foreigners who commit crimes are out.
It's a big step forward from what we had. Previously, it's been a bit of a free-for-all, particularly with coming out of the European Union. Rather than taking control of our immigrant numbers, we've increased them. If you look at 2023, we had net migration figure of 906,000. It went down last year to 728,000, but it's got to go down further. The migration figures are coming out very, very shortly. It's expected that they're going to go down again, but we've got to get them much more balanced. And that's the demand of the people in my constituency, is that what we have to focus on is jobs for British workers. And that's what we're requiring employers to do. So rather than automatically recruit overseas, we're requiring them to put skills training in place so that British workers can have those jobs. And for example, in the care sector, we're now requiring evidence that the care sector tries to recruit in this country before they even attempt to look overseas. It's absolutely essential that the jobs are based here. British workers are being trained up for those jobs, and so that we can rebuild our economy.
But aren't you concerned then by the India trade deal? Because it's being called a sort of two-tier tax system that favours Indian workers over British workers because of the exemption on their employers paying national insurance. Doesn't that create a system where it's going to be more favourable for people to employ Indian workers to look after the elderly in care homes, for instance, than it is British workers?
This is an exchange based on particular trades and requirements that we need. We have these agreements right across the world with other countries. For example, my daughter works in Paris. She does not contribute national insurance, pay national insurance contributions to France. She pays them back here. So those agreements already exist. And in fact, they were being negotiated with previous governments, and this is something that's automatically been added to, that's included as part of the trade deals agreed last week. It's part of that in ensuring that we have investment into this country and bringing in billions of investment of work and employment opportunities for people who also go out to India, because that's one of the largest growing countries in the world in terms of their economy, and we need to be part of that.
OK. Tell me, what do the good people of Bassett Law actually make of Keir Starmer? You are in one of those Labour areas. It was obviously Conservative last time round, Labour before that. You've got the rise of reform. I would imagine that Nigel Farage may be enticing to quite a few people in Bassett Law, Brexit voting community, working class community. What do they actually think of Starmer? Do they think he's the right person to lead the Labour Party? Do you?
I ask of Sir Keir Starmer is to come to Bassett Law and talk to the people of Bassett Law. I want the connection between Westminster and constituencies of the North to be rebuilt. It's completely broken. So policy making and the way we talk about our delivery is going, people don't listen anymore. I think the moment that when we got into government in July, people voted for us with a sense of hope. They voted for Brexit hoping for change. They voted for Boris Johnson in 2019 hoping for change with the Brexit deal, and that didn't happen. And they voted for us in 2024 hoping that we would bring change. And the moment that the winter fuel payment announcement was made, in my view, that hope was broken, and now they're not listening to the work we're doing. They don't believe us anymore. And I want Keir Starmer and other cabinet members to come out to communities like mine and to talk to the voters about what we want to do and listen to them and listen to their priorities. And so that relationship can be rebuilt.
When was the last time Starmer visited Bassetlaw?
He came in June 2024.
And how did he go down?
Well, he came to the hospital. He met with the staff there. And I believe that on a one-to-one basis, Keir, he engages, he listens, he is empathetic. And that's what we need. We want that relationship with people in my constituency.
And yet we've got this kind of talk about, you mentioned your constituency voting for Leave. It voted overwhelmingly for Leave back in 2016. And now we've got these leaked plans about Starmer wanting to re-ingratiate us with the EU, put British troops on EU missions, reintroduce a youth mobility scheme, make concessions on fishing rights. That's not the kind of behaviour that the Bassetlaw constituents will believe in, is it?
We need is there are businesses in my constituency who've lost trade as a consequence of the bureaucracy and the red tape they have had to endure since coming out of the EU. We need those connections to be smoothed over, and I want my businesses to be able to trade effectively, not just in Europe but across the world. And that's what the negotiation's about. There's not going to be any young people's exchanges, because I think that opens the risk to free movement of labour, and I don't want to see that happen. But what I want to see is businesses flourishing in this country because they're able to trade effectively right across the world, including in European countries.
You mentioned the winter fuel allowance earlier, Joe. Just in a yes or no terms, should the cut to winter fuel be scrapped?
What I want to see is a raising of the threshold. So it's not a yes or no. I want to see the raising of the threshold, so the people on the higher range of upper range of paying tax payments, they should not, they're obviously wealthy people, and therefore they do not particularly benefit from the winter fuel payment. So it's people who need that money in order to be able to live in the winter times.
And finally, does Starmer have a woman problem? That's what Louise Haigh has suggested, former Transport Secretary. And indeed, we had similar rhetoric from Rosie Duffield, who talks about a lads culture inside Number 10. Briefly, Joe, what's your view?
I haven't come across a lads culture. The moment I see it, I would shout out about it, because women have to be able to work effectively within the Houses of Parliament. And if there's any blockages in terms of misogyny or sexism, then it has to be called out and stopped immediately.